I bring you love from Agape International. Reverend Michael and all the leaders and all the practitioners. We love to love. The theme, spring cleaning. How many is familiar with spring cleaning? The opportunity today is to make oneself available now to something different. When I was thinking about spring cleaning, I was thinking about, okay, what goes on in that time? Well, let's see. Maybe getting rid of some old things and creating space for something new. Putting away the winter stuff and bringing out the spring and summer things. But what I'm coming to realize is that what I'm really beginning to check are not the material things in my experience, but my belief system. How many have checked their belief systems lately? Being that my belief system creates my human experience, I think I should be on top of them. What do you think? I mean, enjoying your human experience. You see? And if I'm not enjoying my human experience, maybe I need to just check my belief systems. See? Doesn't always ask me to move. Doesn't always ask me to change. But I've come to realize that there's a difference between changing and evolving. Although change takes place in evolution. What I realized, though, that in evolution, there's a building upon. There's just not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I mean, identify what I'm talking about. Right. I need a little bit more. Let you know that you're alive out there. Give an amen every now and then. It's not a Baptist church, but they were alive. So it serves me now that when I'm looking over my experience, that I'm looking at the belief systems that is creating it. How many realize that the belief system that one might be operating from is not even yours? And how many have realized that I'm operating from a belief system that's not even mine, and I'm kind of upset with the experience I'm having? So these are the things that I'm realizing, the perfection of perfect intelligence. I live under the orchestration of perfect intelligence. As it's stated, there is one life, and that life is God. There is no other life. It's not even my life or your life. This life is the life of the Creator. I believe it knows exactly what it needs to do with all of its creations. I'm one of them. So what I'm coming to realize is that there's an orchestration going on that keeps everything in perfect harmony and perfect peace. If I'm not experiencing peace, what orchestration am I under? You see. A lot of things that I've realized is that from grade school, I'm being taken away from my true nature. Because I'm being conditioned to think in a way that society wants me to think in order to keep the machine going.
Right.
I don't believe that's what the Creator created. I'm 63 years old, I'll be 64 in June, and I realize now that I spent a whole lot of time trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be in this world. And none of it has appeared to be very natural to me. Kind of made up. And everything that is natural is real. Same yesterday, today, and forever. Except it's not over and over. You see? Meaning that, yes, the Spirit will always be that same yesterday, today, and forever. Life, though, expands, extends, evolves, and becomes more. And I'm part of this life. And what I'm realizing more and more and more is that when I am utilizing the power that has been bestowed upon me to complain about this life, that I'm really not making myself available to the fullness of this life. You see, when I'm complaining about this life, I have nobody to blame but me. Because it's me that's keeping me away from the very truth that is awaiting me. But when I'm blaming, I am creating a block that keeps what's mine from coming. How many identify with that? Okay, all right, good. I think I'm going to need some water.
Move your mic.
Out?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Perfect? All right, good. And when I'm in that place, it's interesting. Thursday, I came down with a little cold, and I said, okay, what does this mean? And I realized more and more that when Spirit is asking me to get still, He will find a way. And so here, in this process of being aware of the belief system that is creating my experience, I'm realizing that God is all that there is, and it is this life that I'm experiencing. So what's keeping me from letting it have its way with me? See, what am I thinking? What am I believing? That I think I know more than the Creator that already knows what's purposeful for this existence, that knows exactly what this creation was all about and what it was for. All I'm seeing in nature is a harmonizing, balancing peace that takes place with animals and birds and fish and all of this. And all of nature just seems to be so harmonious. What's keeping people from being that way? So, again, I have to take away the blame. One of the biggest blocks I found out lately is judgment. How many are still in judgment? And it's in my judging that have created the block that now I'm starting to see that is asking me to let go of my judgment. How many find it hard to let go of judgment? So instead of letting it go, I'm starting to take a deeper look at for what reason do I judge? For what is my reason for judging? Am I knowing a reason for judging? Because I find that that's important for me, to know what reason am I judging. Because judgment will cause a separation. And if I'm looking for peace, will I get some peace out of that? No. You see. And in actuality, I'm starting to also find out that it doesn't really ask me to do it a lot. Just change the way I think. Change the way I think. Matter of fact, I've come to the realization that thinking is overrated. And I say thinking is overrated because it's getting in the way of that perfect and divine order that's already taking place. That knows it has everyone's best interest in there. So if this is already taking place, what am I thinking about? My little self? And if I'm still thinking about my little self, how does that bring peace and harmony on the planet? So I'm realizing that the responsibility now to be as I'm created to be, with the acceptance, I don't know what that looks like. Anybody really know what the Creator created? Ever really know what was in the mind of the Creator when they created human beings? If the Creator is love, then everything that is created from it is love. Where am I not being loving? That's the question. Where am I not being loving? If I'm love, what's keeping me from loving? Now let's do some spring cleaning. Am I aware of the belief system that keeps me from loving? Would that be a belief system that I can let go of now? We'll say yes now, but that same belief is going to come up in your everyday experience where you're used to it. And if I'm not conscious of it, it's going to be acted out just like it's always been. So the Creator is asking me to be very conscious today. Don't pay no attention to what people, places, and things are doing. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Because it's what I'm doing that is creating my experience, not people, places, and things. You see? When I come to realize what the Creator created in this human being, I realize the power that's within me and within everyone. See? When I come to the realization that who I am cannot be hurt, harmed, or endangered in any way, shape, or form, then I get to take a look at my belief systems that is telling me they're afraid of something. And it's important for me to face those fears. Because when I face those fears, I come to realize that I gave those fears all the power that it needed to scare me. Without me, it doesn't exist. Without me, whatever's scaring me does not exist. You see? So here again, I'm having to be responsible for what it is I'm believing and thinking that brings about that experience.
Yes, yes.
When I take a look at the things that I'm telling myself that I'm afraid of, and I look deeper into it and I become more familiar with who I am, then it's easy to say, that's not true. Anyone in my groups or classes will always hear me ask the question, when anyone is saying anything that seems to blocking them, I always ask, is that true? Have you asked yourself what you're believing? Is it true? You ever question your beliefs? Or am I walking around here like a robot being orchestrated by society? Because I'm starting to see how society likes to take away my power. And the way that's done is through distraction. Anybody in here allowing themselves to be distracted? When I'm allowing myself to be distracted, then I have no complaint. Because here again, I'm creating my experience. Now, if I'm not liking the experience that I just had, I just need to take a look at what was the belief that made me say yes to this. No judgment. Matter of fact, have a little compassion. How many can use more compassion in their experience? Have some compassion to be with that part of me that is telling me they're afraid. Now be with that part and ask it. What are we afraid of, Ron? What are we truly afraid of? And you'll hear what it'll say, and then you get to ask the question, is it true? And if it's not true, then what am I afraid of? What am I telling myself I'm afraid of? Because without me telling myself I'm afraid, I'm not afraid. I'm still as the Creator created me. Perfect, whole, and complete. Joyous, happy, and free. Abundant, prosperous, and opulent. Affluent. Compassionate, caring, and giving. Trusting. I am worthy. And I am no different than anyone in this room. Everyone is. The opportunity is to clean house and return to love. not to your concept of love, not to your idea, thought, or belief about love. I've come to a realization in my experience that every quality of the infinite cannot really be defined. Just like one cannot define the infinite, you cannot define its qualities. They're all too great, too vast to be known. Yet they are here to be experienced. Am I choosing to experience them? Or am I spending time trying to know them? So that I can protect myself, because see, when I try to know them, I might be operating from a place of fear. I have to be aware of that. Because if I'm operating from a place of fear and I want to know love, I only want to know love so I can stay protected. I only want to know love because if it's not looking that way, I'm stepping out of that. How many of you been in relationships and you thought there was no more love there and you left? But only to get to the next place and find the same thing going on. You see? There's a common denominator there. Am I aware of it? See, there's a common denominator that says, Ron, you better take a look at you. You see? Because every person that you are experiencing, I put them there. If everything's under divine order, under the orchestration of perfect intelligence, divine wisdom, and knowledge, it is the only light that there is. What else could be going on? So whoever's in front of me has been put there for me to expand, extend, and become more. Never less. You see. So whatever experience I'm going through, whatever emotions and feelings that I'm going through, it's like, let me get still and let me not try to figure them out, but let me be still and ask the Spirit that knows. See, I live in a society that wants to keep me busy. See, it doesn't want me to get still. Because if I get still, I'm going to remember who I am. And once I know who I am, I cannot be controlled by outside extremities. All participation will be a choice. And once I made the choice, I'm responsible. If I find myself blaming because I didn't like it, that's only keeping me away from that is seeking to emerge. Returning to love is that opportunity to say yes to that knows. That knows is love. And it has everyone's best interest in hand. There is no separation. There is no hierarchy. There is no lower. There's only love. If I'm telling myself I'm seeing something other than love, I need to check me. Not the ones that I'm judging and just saying and not loving. You see? Because there's only one life, one mind, one power. It's the only mind that's orchestrating everything in perfect and divine order. So whatever I'm experiencing is under that orchestration. Can I trust that? Can I let that happen? Or am I going to fall into fear because I don't know? The unknown is the greatest opportunity that I have come to realize that reveals my trust. See? I can say I love God, but am I trusting God? And my mind might want to say, yeah, I trust God. But what is my experience telling me? See, if I ever want to know any answers about anything, just look at my experience. Don't try to figure it out in my head, because my head wants to tell me what I need to know in order to keep it going. See? I want to stop being controlled by society. Let me stop being controlled by my ego first. Y'all got real quiet. And that's okay. Because I'm realizing more and more that when I utilize the qualities of compassion in my experience, then I'm finding that all the things that I have done, that I have judged, had very valuable information. You see? So it's important for me now to get the information. Because only when I get the information can I make a different decision. If I don't have new information, nothing's changed. Nothing evolves. You see? So it's been a great journey for me to be right here and to accept the things that I've gone. I was riding up here with my brother Thorne, and not my GPS, but the map, Google, whatever it was, I'm trying to get here. And it wants to offer me a Uber ride. I want an Uber ride, I got a ride, just give me the directions. But for some reason, I couldn't get that Uber advertisement away from the directions. So. Can you give me what I want? Yes, I can be that way at times. I'm not going to lie and try to present to be something other than what I am. But it's okay now. Because I'm not judging myself for what I do. I'm being more aware of what's making me do what I do. You see. Returning to love means love has its way with me. And I don't know what love is bringing for me. Because love has its own idea of what's necessary for the evolution of this life. All I know is that whatever takes place when I'm surrendered is going to be harmony. It will be peace. I look at our society today, and I sure love to see more advertisement of loving and peaceful people. In order for me to see that, I must be that. Because if I'm not being it, how can I expect or even want anyone else to be it? Or even think that they should be it? Everything is happening in a divine order to give me the opportunity to stand in my divinity like no one ever knows. And that direction is going to be different. Because everyone is a unique being. Everyone is getting their own instructions on the purpose of being here. And only when I play my part is this picture completed. You see? But if I don't play my part, complain about that part in the corner over there, the picture's not completed, the puzzle's not complete. So if I'm seeking to have the puzzle complete, all I need to do is play my part. And love knows that part. So return to love. I always thank God because by myself I do nothing. I always thank God is in and do the work. At this particular time, we'd like for you to prepare your time.